you guys, I'm Tabetha McNeal, and this is The Next Up, an actor's journey to success. And today we have Devere Rogers. Yes. If you haven't seen the movie My Spy, you are missing out. I mean, this man is a star. A star.
Thank you.
So, Devere, tell us about yourself.
All right. Let's see if I can give you my Wikipedia journey. My name is Devere Rogers. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, East Point College Park to be exact. I graduated from Tri-Cities School for Visual and Performing Arts, which is a predominantly Black high school magnet program. And that's where Outkast is from, Candy Burris, Escape, Kenan Thompson, all the stars.
He was in good company.
So, I was in good company. And so after that, I went to NYU Tisch School of the Arts and studied theater there. And so after that, I just worked in New York City as an actor, did, shows on Broadway, Off-Broadway, regional. I started off in theater. And then I transitioned to film and TV when I moved out to LA about 7 years ago. Yeah. And I've been blessed to be able to work steadily on shows like Will and Grace, Grey's Anatomy, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, Sherman Showcase. And now I'm also in My Spy, which you can watch on Amazon Prime, which is really great. And now I'm just like, excited. I'm also a writer developing projects with Fox and, things like that. So it's just the blessings continue to come. So that's sort of my Wikipedia, Devere in a nutshell.
That is awesome. So, Devere, when did this kind of acting bug catch you?
Oh my God. I know exactly when. So I was 6 years old and my mom and dad showed me The Wiz for the first time.
Yeah.
So The Wiz, it's that. The Wiz was, when I saw that movie, first of all, I thought it was the best movie ever made. And I literally said, I'm going to do that. I was like, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. And then from that, I became obsessed. And when I say obsessed, I mean obsessed with Michael Jackson. And so I was like, I want to sing and dance and do the moonwalk. And I used to like watch his videos and like watch everything. I was obsessed. I used to come home after school and watch. They had a miniseries called Jackson 5 American Dream. Yeah. That was on VH1 back in the day. I used to come home every day and watch it on VHS. That's how they don't have those no more. But and so from then on, I just knew that that's what I wanted to do. And so I started sort of training professionally as an actor around 15. And that's also when I got my first professional gig at a theater in Atlanta called the Alliance Theater Company, which is like one of the biggest theater companies in the Southeast. Yeah. And so I sort of started my professional journey at 15 and have been doing it ever since.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Mind you guys, I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. Anyway.
I'm hyped to be here. To be here.
My next question is, can you talk a little bit about being yourself in the industry and how that is such a power move when going into auditions and meeting casting directors and stuff?
Oh, yes, of course. So the one thing that I always preach and one thing that I live by is knowing that there is no one else like you and you in this world, in this universe. You are the only one of you. So for me, it's like when you know that, you have that power going into whatever situation you're going into. And for an actor, you have that power going into casting directors and auditions because you know that you're giving them something that they won't see. You're giving them something that is only unique to you. And when you know that, you can go in there and have fun and do your thing and show them who you are and not have to be worried about, would they like me? If they don't like you, that job wasn't meant for you. Yeah. If they do like you, you'll know you get a call back, you'll book it, it was meant for you. But I think when you have that innate power of knowing who you are as an artist and as a person, that can't be taken away. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like actors nowadays, they're so worried about like either booking the job or like trying to do a good job, whatever that means. It's sort of like you just have to do you and really live in and breathe in your artistry. That's the only way you're going, in my opinion, that's the only way you really are successful and succeed in what this business and what this industry offers. Because the business of you is literally the business of one, because there ain't no other one like you. Even if you got a twin, y'all ain't the same person.
Exactly.
You know
Period.
Period. So I think, just moving through this career, moving through this industry, as long as you stay true to yourself and know that you're offering something that no one else can give, I feel like that's a way that you will continue to enjoy this industry. Because this industry is hard. You get 100 no's before you get that one yes. So it's like you have to, because you know who you are and what you're put on this earth to do. It's like it doesn't matter how many no's you get. You know that someone's going to get me, someone's going to get this, and you just have to stay true to yourself.
Yeah. That's so cool. Yes. Not even Sunday, y'all. It's not even Sunday. So my next question is, how did you book My Spy, and what was that experience for you in the movie?
Oh, okay. So so I got the audition for My Spy, and I walked in, and it was like a lot of celebrities or a lot of named people that I could name and have seen before. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I am in this room with all these celebrities. They clearly want a name for this role. So in my mind, I already try not to get nervous or put pressure on myself. But in my mind, when I say, oh, if they're trying to go for a name, I know I'm not that yet. So it took all the pressure away, because I was like, oh, well, then I'm just going to go in here and really have a good time and really just do my thing, And so I did this audition, and one of the scenes in the audition was one of the big action sequences for my character in the movie. Yeah. And so I literally, when I had to fight and shoot a gun, I literally was like, pow, 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 pew, 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 pew. And I was making those old Batman, pow, pow, pow. I was doing all of that. And I could see the casting director's eyes be like, this man is crazy. And so I finished the audition, and she was like, wow. She was like, I just loved watching you. That was so much fun. Thank you for coming in. And I was like, thank you so much. Thank you. And I walked out of the room, and I guess some of the people out in the waiting room had heard me go pow, pow. They were just like, dude, it sounded like you had a lot of fun. And I was like, I did. I was like, break legs, y'all. Whatever. Didn't think anything of it. I was like, well, I was just like, well, that's clearly not, I thought in my mind, oh, that's clearly not for me, And it's crazy because when I got the audition and I saw that it was for action comedy, that is one of my favorite genres of film, just because I used to watch Beverly Hills Cop and Bad Boys, these movies that were action filled, but also funny. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, this would be great to do it, but this is for me. So literally past, I had forgotten about it, didn't think of it. My manager called and said, hey, so I booked that movie. And I was like, wait. I was like,
oh no.
I was like, wait, what?
I think you're breaking up just a little bit. You froze on my side.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Did it go? Am I back?
Yes, you are back.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, great. And so she was like, I think you may have booked that movie. And I was like, what movie? I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, that action comedy. she was like, that action comedy, My Spy. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, she was like, I think you may have booked it. She was like, I'll call you back. And so she called me back, but she didn't say you booked it. She was just like, I think you may have booked it. I was like, wait, what do you mean I think? So she called me back and was like, so the producers booked you, yay. But she was like, also, you have to get on a red eye in less than 24 hours.
Oh,
to go
snap.
To set. And I was like, wait, what? And she was like, she was like, the schedule changed because of the weather, so your character's scenes are being shot earlier. So they thought that you already knew that you booked it, but apparently we didn't know, and so now you know, and now you have to get on the flight. And I was like, for how long? She was like, the shoot is like 2 months. And I was like, so I have to like pack for two months in less than. She was like, yeah, I know, it's crazy. So I like had to pack. I had to get another copy of my passport because I couldn't find my passport. It was crazy because it's shot in Toronto, Canada. So I literally like had to pack, shower, get all the things together, get my mind right, and to hop on this flight and go to Toronto to shoot this movie. And I literally get off the plane, can't even stop by the hotel or the apartment that they have set up at. I went from the airport to transpo to set.
Dang.
And literally I was like with my bags, all my bags still in the back of the van. And I was like, and I'd like get on set, and Dave Bautista, who's the star of the movie, he's also a producer, he was just like, dude, he was like, I loved your tape. He was like, once I saw it, I knew that you were the guy. And I was like,
wow.
What? And in my mind, it's like, see, that's what when I'm telling you, when you just do you, is when people see it, you know. And then from then on, it was like the best experience of my life that I've had in my career so far, you know, because it was literally like a dream come true. Like the kid, like the little 12-year-old me was like, oh my God, I'm in an action movie and I can be funny. And then I could also like dodge bullets, and I could also like, you know, do stunts. You know, it was like such an otherworldly experience, because it is that thing where you realize, especially in this industry, that like your dreams can come true. You just have to keep at it. And you know, for me, it was one of those things where it was like, I've been working professionally as an actor since 15, and here I was being like, I'm accomplishing a dream of mine, you know, and like, you know, like not even, and you know, I'm only 32 now, and I was 30 at the time, so it's like I accomplished that dream in 15 years from starting my, you know, like this journey, this acting journey. And so it's one of those things where I tell people, it's just like, you never count yourself out. If you want this and you know that this is meant for you, and you know this is what you love and your passion, you just have to keep at it. You can't stop.
Yeah.
You know, and so My Spy has just been such a blessing and such a gift. And it was also even crazy once we filmed it. We filmed that in October 2018. So, and it just came out just like you know, like a month.
Oh no, it happened again.
So oh no.
We're good. We're good.
Rallying. Oh no.
Yeah, I know, Teddy.
Oh, okay. You know, I don't want to Teddy. I'm not trying to Teddy. Teddy.
Yes, good. Oh no, Teddy.
Such a journey. Oh, Teddy.
Not today, Teddy. Come on.
Teddy doing this. Not today, Teddy. Come on now.
I think we good.
Am I still rallying? I call it rallying. Okay.
Yeah.
Am I still rallying? Okay.
No, you're good. You're good. So,
okay.
Teddy's gonna have in the comments be like, "I'm tired of y'all.
I'm tired of y'all talking about."
So, my next question is, what is your process like before and after an audition?
Okay. So before an audition, what I usually do is like read the sides, and then if there is a script, I'll read the script, and then for me, I sort of decide like who this character is in my body. For me, you know, I try not to think about, you know, what do they want or what. It's like me as the artist, I have to think about, okay, how would I do this? I can't be worried about what they think, you know. And this is for the initial audition, because I feel like, of course, after you do it and you get notes and things, it changes, you know. But for the initial audition, I'm just like, this is my take on this character. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, that's what they want to see. They want to see your take. They don't want to see someone who's doing the same thing everyone does. Because out of, you know, most casting directors that I've talked to say, like, for one role, they'll get over 2,000 submissions and can only see up to 40 people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like to even get an audition is a blessing in itself because there's so many people vying for it. So it's like you have to stand out as you. You can't be thinking like, well, maybe they want this, they want that. It's like, no, you make the choices that you would make and do that. So I try to make sure that my choices are mine and that I feel comfortable and confident in.
Yeah.
Because I know, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I tell people, if you're acting in your acting audition, you're putting a hat on top of a hat. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you really want to do what feels right for you. So that's sort of what I do before an audition. I also, for most of, especially for film and TV, I personally like to try to get off book or memorize my lines just because it helps me to be as free as I want to be because I'm the type of actor that tends to like be free to do my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then also what I do before an audition is which I talk to a lot of my friends about, I use this mostly for comedy auditions, but you can also do it in drama too. I like to come up with a button for myself. Ooh. Which means like after the lines are done, to either do a line or reaction that is exclusively like how I would do it, just as to show them like, oh, this is my sort of take, or like if the scene was to keep going, what this character would do and how I would do it. Just like a little button. Just so, and also because that also sets you aside from everyone else who may not do it or who may not, show that personality or show, sort of who they are. I'm such a fan of like, I like for y'all to see in the initial auditions what you gonna get, so there is no surprise. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what you gonna get.
This is who I am. Letting you know now.
This is who I am. I'm letting you know now. So there ain't no surprises. You can't say, oh, well, in your audition, you did this. And it's like, no, what I'm giving you on set is what I did in my audition, So that's sort of what I do before my audition. After an audition, I forget about it. Yeah. I'm in the way of thinking of like, I'm referencing this old ass commercial that I used to see growing up, but it's like you said it and then you forget it.
I'm done.
But for me, because I feel like after you do it, for me in my mind, you have to forget it, because if you don't, then you're thinking about all the what ifs, like, so did they like it, or am I going to get it, or da-da-da-da. And so that can also takes me off track, and can also sort of dampen your outlook on the industry. Even though we know that that's a part of it, it can sort of be like, oh, I thought I did good on that one, or oh, I thought that it went really well, but I didn't hear anything. It's like, no, once you do your art and once you do your thing and release it into the world, whatever happens is exactly what's supposed to happen. Yeah. If it was meant for you, you will get a call back or you will book it. If it wasn't meant for you, it wasn't meant for you. So it's like after every audition, I sort of forget about it. I say, I forget about it. If I get a call back, that's the icing on the cake. And if I book it, that's the cherry on top.
Ooh, come on.
You know what I mean? But it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to think of it that way. You have to think of it that way because we're in this industry of rejection and of, you know what I'm saying? Like, of, it being to people, whether it's producer or director, specific taste. And also not, because there are a lot of times where, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Yeah. And so after an audition, it's like, you can't worry about that. You can't worry about the cast director like you, or the director like you, the producer like you, because you won't know. And if you burden yourself with thinking about that, then that's going to do nothing but make you even more in your head and even more like skeptical, But if you forget about your audition, and especially if you know you did well and did your best, it's like, all right, cool, did that, on to the next, because there was a time, especially when I was younger and starting out, I would be like waiting by the phone. I like send the audition and be like,
that's me. Like, I'd be coming out the audition, like, sitting in the car. Like, so, I'm just waiting on you.
I know I killed that. So,
yeah.
Did you hear anything? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that.
I mean, Friday. I'm so sorry. Like, Friday comes, and I'm just like, no one called me. No one called me.
Like, no one called me. And for me, I discovered that was actually like making me not like the thing that I love to do.
Yeah.
And so once I realized it was just my thinking and my pressure on myself of things that I had no control over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have control over that. Because also too, you could not get a part because the director wants to hire their cousin. And if the director wants to hire their cousin, then the director gonna hire their cousin. You know what I'm saying? But that has nothing to do with you. So while you're at home being like, oh, that I didn't do that audition grade, or I didn't do that, you probably killed that audition, but the director wanted his cousin. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you realize that there are so many other factors into it, after the audition, you might as well, have a drink, sit down, eat some food, whatever. You did it. You did it, because our job as actors is auditioning. I say you're on vacation when you book it. You got the job now, so you could just do whatever. But our job is to audition.
That is beautiful. You just dropping gems today. Dropping on the gem. So I want to talk about Ying and Yang. How did that journey start as a writer for you?
Oh man, so Ying and Yang first of all, it started off as a play, the first play that I ever wrote when I was at NYU. I was bored in a liberal arts class one day, and I was like, I'm just gonna write something. And I literally started writing in my notebook, filled the whole notebook, bought another notebook, filled that notebook. And so the first thing I ever wrote was this epic ass 2-hour and 45-minute hip hop musical.
2 hours.
That it was like 180 something pages. It was like it had songs and raps and this and that and scenes, and it was so crazy. And so I did it. We did a reading of it, and everyone was like, "This is great. It's just long as hell." And I was like, "I know." I was like, "I know. I just got to get it out. And so I had a friend of mine tell me, like, I think that you should adapt this as like a film. Like, they were like, this feels like a movie. And so I adapted it into a feature film script. And I had the script, and I was like, okay, I want to shoot it somehow, And so that same friend was like, well, maybe just do a short film version of it to see, just like a proof of concept for like what it would look like. And so I wrote sort of this, the short film version of it. And because there was a lot of poetry in the script, I decided to make the short film just like a long poem and then have the images coincide. And so I did this movie called, on HBO called For Flow, and I knew the producer and the writer very well. And I was like, hey, I have this short film, this short film script. Can you read it, see if you like it? And he loved it and was like, let's shoot it. And I was like, what? And so he was like, yes, let's shoot it. So like, we went into production on this short film that I wrote, and I was able to cast like all of my friends and people who I respected and admired in it. And it was like, we shot it over like the course of like 2 or 3 days, I believe. And it was like a labor of love. And like, when it came out and it was released, it went to theater festivals all across the world and won awards. And it was one of those things where I was just like, oh wow, I'm also a writer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like a realization, like it's something that I've always been interested in because my father was a writer. So it was something that I felt like was always in me. But because I was an actor, I was like, no, I can't do that. Yeah. Like, no, like, like, I'm an actor. Like, what I look like trying to write?
I'm just here to act.
Exactly. I'm just here to act. That's it. That's it. Yeah. I'm just here to act for y'all. That's it. And so after that came out, it sort of like sparked this thing where it was just like, oh, like, I do have stories to tell. And I think that as artists, when you do have stories to tell, it's like, tell them, write them, and don't be scared. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to, even if you think it's trash, even if you think it's not good, even if you do whatever. If there's a story in your spirit to tell, write it, tell it, And so, and for me, it was just even more confirmation, like, okay, I can do this for real. You know what I'm saying? Especially once I saw the response to the movie and like how it like really touched people. I was like, oh, this is the power of also writing. You know what I'm saying? And also me realizing that I'm a storyteller, whether that's acting, whether that's writing, whether it's directing, whether it's producing,
Yes,
whatever.
yes.
We're all storytellers.
Mm-hmm.
So it sort of laid the groundwork for, you know, all the other things that I'm writing now and have written written before. It sort of like gave me the permission to be like, yes, I'm going to write these stories. Yes, I'm going to write these things. And the crazy part is that like for the most part, the stuff that I write, I don't write myself in, only because I feel like I would rather have other dope actors and dope artists do it if I'm writing it. Because you know, I tell myself and I believe that I'm going to be acting. You know what I'm saying? So for me personally, it's like I don't have to write a part for me because I know I'm going to act. I would rather just tell this story, you know, authentically and with dope people, because I still get the same joy or the same rush watching, you know, some great actors, you know, say my words as if, you know, as if I'm up there doing it too. So
wow.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. That is so beautiful. That is so encouraging for writers right now to just make sure that they're putting out their content, especially with everything going on. It's like, boo-boo, just put it out.
Just
they're ready to read it.
No, for real. It's like they're ready to read it, they're ready to watch it, they're ready to take it in, especially in this time we're in now. And the thing is, like, we need our stories. We need people's points of view and stories that we've never seen and ideas that we've never encountered. Like, that's what this time is about. It's like, we need that. So it's like, don't think it's stupid. Don't think it's crazy. Don't think, oh, it's my first time writing. It's like, write it. You have to, you know what I'm saying? It's necessary.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. We're winding down to the last two questions. And the first one is, what has been your favorite role to play so far in everything that you have done? What has impacted you the most?
Ooh, that is a great question. You know, I would say honestly, for me, my greatest role that I've ever done, and that has sort of given me the confidence and the sort of courage to continue as an actor, was I was able to play the lion in The Wiz.
Coming back full circle.
Coming back full circle. I was able to play the lion in The Wiz, and it was a production at True Colors that Kenny Leon directed, and I was 17 years old, and it was like my first major professional, you know, production as a lead character, and I say it's one of my favorite roles and that changed me so much is because I was able to take this character, which I loved. As you saw at 6 years old, I love The Wiz, I love the lion, I was like, oh, I was able to take this character and make them and sort of show them through my point of view and through my perspective, which was very different from Ted Ross, who did the original or did the movie. It was like Devere's take, which also sort of which gave me the courage to sort of be where I am now and do what I'm doing now and do the work that I'm doing now, because it let me know that, like, my point of view, my artistry is unique and is intrinsically mine, you know what I'm saying? And for me, that's something that has just kept me in this industry, is to know that, like, there is no one who can do what you can do. Sort of like what I said before, you know what I'm saying? And seeing the response of the people from, you know, that performance, and just sort of, and like reading the reviews and everyone being like, this is a star, this is a brand. I was just like, wait, what? And I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? But it was that thing where I was literally just doing this part, which I loved and knew like the back of my hand, but doing it a way that felt right to me and felt unique to me. And so I would say, like, that role, that production, that performance, like, set the course for who you see right now talking, you know?
Wow. I mean, just coming back to you,
just
like,
full circle.
That's
yeah.
amazing. So here is the
Yeah.
last question. As a Black man in the industry, what are some things you want to see changed in the upcoming, years? When, Miss COVID is over, is she done with
when
us?
Miss COVID is over. Yeah, I know. I would say, as a Black man in the industry, what I want to see change is I want to see more variety of our stories. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to see stories that include Black men, and not even but Black men, Black people in general, that are not the same thing that we've seen. I want to see some shit that's like new and like, wait, that person dealt with this and this and this, you know what I'm saying? I want to see stories that, really show the variety of us as a people and of us as artists. Like we're not a monolith. So it's like every story is different. Everybody's journey is different. And and the way that people view, life and things are just completely different. So it's like I just want to see a variety. Like, like we've seen certain stories all the time, whether it's slavery or whether it's coming from the bottom and you're making it, or whether it's gang stories, or whether, what I'm saying? But it's like, I want to see this. I want to see story, like, I want to see like a Black hockey player story, or like, a Black, gardener story. I don't know, but it's just like, I want to see stories that I have never seen before that I know would be just as entertaining, just as vital, just as, prominent, and also when it comes to Black men, like, I want to see stories that like also tackle our toxic masculinity, like for me, I feel like that's something that Black men, we don't want to talk about. We want to veer away from, but it's like, it's an issue that a lot of Black men have. And it's like, we need to have stories that really talk about that and unpack that. Like, I feel like going forward, it should be stories that not only entertain, but also unpack traumas and generational curses and things like that we have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, for me, that's important, and that's included, in a lot of the stuff that I write. It's like, I want to talk about those things and deal with those things and see perspectives and points of view that rarely are shown or seen. So
wow, you guys, this was just such a great episode today. I mean, Devere is just dropping all the gems, telling you to be yourself. It's like I'm sitting down with Oprah, like, nah, baby, everything's gonna be all right. You just be you.
It's gonna be all right. Just do you, and it's gonna. I promise you, it's gonna work out.
Right there, you sounded like Tyler Perry. It's like, just go ahead, go buy a convention center. It can be yours.
Exactly. It can be yours.
Yeah. So, Devere Rogers, thank you for being on the show today. This is such a blessing. You are so talented and so amazing and just such a giver. Because when I reached out to you, I was like, well, it happens, Lord. Here it is. So again, thank you so much. You guys, check out Devere on My Spy, Sherman Showcase. Check out his writing. Can we actually get the link to Ying Yang? If you can send that to me?
Yes, I'll send that to you.
Awesome. So I'm going to put everything he's in the description down below so you can watch it, buy it, rent it. Devere, do you have like a Cash App or anything?
Yes, Cash App is just Devere Rogers.
Awesome. Sponsor him.
One up there. Yeah, sponsor me, Jesus. We needed COVID. Please send a blessing if you can.
Send a blessing, okay? A little love token.
Send a blessing. A little love token.
Yeah. So Devere, again, thank you so much. You guys, I'm Tabetha McNeal. This is The Next Up, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.